I'm wondering, gentlemen, if you can share, if you have any thoughts or ideas on how you see the need for Amate House changing or growing in this time of coronavirus. We all have to adapt here. And how do you see the need for our fellows in the leadership development and faith formation programming? Do you see that changing at all, growing, or?
Yeah, I think one of the realities, kind of one of the blessings in an ironic way of this whole pandemic, is that it has so clearly identified all the cracks in our society. You know, John was talking earlier about, you know, the capacity for indifference. And I think if there's anything good to come from this pandemic, it's that we are all, I think, less likely to be indifferent. We are less likely to overlook those many places where people fall through those cracks, and maybe more likely to respond, whether it's in terms of volunteerism or support for volunteerism, than we might have been in the past. So I really think this is a moment of opportunity, even though this particular spring, it might have limited our current fellows' opportunity to interact directly at their service sites. You know, going forward, it may lead to a greater, you know, number of people looking for this kind of opportunity.
I think John is absolutely right. This coronavirus time has helped us understand what real heroism is. It's not Hollywood celebrities, it's not sports figures, it's ordinary people like truck drivers and certified nursing assistants and nurses and doctors and bus drivers. That heroism really happens when ordinary people decide to be carried by an extraordinary love, and it's self-sacrificing. It's the most important thing they know. It changes their life. And every night we watch all of these terrific stories of what real heroism is. So I think the coronavirus will make it a lot more likely for people to continue and deepening their call to service. I think this has been one of the spiritual blessings of this awful time.
Yeah, I think the need is there. It will continue, I think, as it has been. It'll be interesting if you have a lot of second-year folks jumping in the strangeness of this year. But as long as they're listening to Dr. Fauci and social distancing in Amate House, we'll be okay there. But there is such a need for healing. You know, we've seen the gaps in our society between the rich and the poor, between the people with health insurance, those without, immigrants with status, those without. We need people working on that to bridge that reality. And Amate House volunteers can do that. And I think all the people that be so generous. I mentioned 3 sites where we did service, and then it went on to St. John Fisher and St. Giles and St. Catherine, St. Lucie. And I could name so many of the parishes in the Archdiocese that have stepped up to support this idea. And as long as they're there, and I want to, as long as the current board, see, we had the founding board, but if we don't have the current board, we still don't have an Amate House. We don't have the current volunteers, we don't have an Amate House. So everybody needs to continue to step up. But I think the need is great. And I think that the program has been of tremendous value, and I think it has a tremendous future.